Hey, welcome back to the Comic Cosmos, where we cover everything pop culture. Today we're reviewing Stargirl Season 1, Episode 6, giving you an in-depth breakdown, Easter eggs, and theories on the episode. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course, there will be spoilers for Episode 6. So, in the previous episodes, we saw Courtney started a new JSA, and she recruited Yolanda as Wildcat and Rick as Owlman, and Beth, I guess, kind of as Dr. Midnight. The Injustice Society has also started their plan and are starting building their machine, which they'll be using in Project New America. Pat also found all the JSA equipment that Courtney actually stole from the JSA HQ, so she'll have to deal with this in this episode. So episode 6 starts with actually not another flashback this time, but rather it starts in the present day on a football field, where we see Artemis Croc, who we've seen a few times in previous episodes, but probably most notably last episode in the hallway. The song at the beginning, and really the entire score of the show, really has been good, and definitely has done a great job in creating an atmosphere in the show. So Artemis is said to be the best player on the team and is benched when she punches someone in the face, and her parents, Lawrence Croc and Paula Brooks, aren't very happy, and at the end of the scene they confront the coach, and he gets a baseball bat in the face. As we later find out, that this was actually the third coach that they killed, and Principal Bowen isn't very happy that she has to keep replacing coaches when they aren't happy with him. And as we find out, this Lawrence Croc is actually Sportmaster from the Injustice Society, and Paula Brooks is Tigress from the Injustice Society. We then pick up from where the previous episode left off, when Courtney comes back and flies through her window, where Pat is waiting for her with the remaining JSA stuff. He tells her that she has to take all the equipment back from Yolanda and Beth, otherwise they may turn out like Joey Zarek did. And Joey Zarek really has been used by Pat to kind of guilt Courtney, as it was kind of their fault that he died, and Courtney was quite shocked off from that experience. Pat is very disappointed in Courtney, and Courtney feels bad as she didn't really mean to keep secrets from him. She just wanted to do what she thought was right. At breakfast, things are tense between them, and Mike made a chocolate volcano for his science fair, which looks pretty cool. And we see things between him and Barbara are much better, and Barbara even goes to Mike's science fair, which brings them closer together. So Courtney goes to school, and she wants to obey Pat and take all the JSA stuff back from Yolanda and Beth. And she meets Yolanda, who's watching a boxing fight with Ted Grant, who was actually the first Wildcat in the JSA. And she says how grateful she is that Courtney chose her to be the new Wildcat. And Courtney can't really bring herself to take the suit back after she said that. She then sees if she can ask Beth for the goggles back, but Beth is very attached to, as she calls, Chuck, and even calls him her best friend. So now Courtney really doesn't know what to do to please Pat and her friends at the same time. Pat meets with Rick and shows him his father's journal, and asks for the hourglass back, as he said he's not ready for the power within it, and also wants the journal back, so that really doesn't work out for Pat. Rick gets pretty annoyed and tells Pat that he doesn't really seem very useful, and why should he listen to some random guy who barely even knew his father. Pat tries to see if Rick can figure out what the notes in Rex's journal mean. Rick has no idea, as in the journal it says some stuff that never actually happened, so they think it may be some sort of code. Those are calculations that look like chemical formula, but I don't really know. Beth actually later uses her Dr. Midnight goggles to try to decipher it, but even with all the information it has access to, it doesn't know what it means. So there's definitely something interesting going on there, which I guess we'll hopefully find out next episode maybe. So at lunch, Courtney brings herself to ask Yolanda and Beth if they would give their JSA equipment back, and obviously they don't. I mean, if you got the opportunity to have powers, you're never going to give that up. So Yolanda and Beth storm out of school, and they actually meet Rick when going out. Courtney tries to calm them down and tells them that Pat is just trying to help them, but they don't want to listen. The Dr. Midnight goggles then alert Beth of some sort of code that is hacking the Empire Enterprise servers, and it is revealed that the gambler is actually doing this, as the goggles get the frequency or some sort of thing that the goggles tell Beth that the gambler was the arch rival of Charles McNider, aka the original Dr. Midnight. They think it will be easy to just go quickly capture him, as the goggles say he has no physical powers besides being a master strategist, and as Beth says, a genius when it comes to probabilities. Empire Enterprise is actually a communications company which first appeared in the Wonder Woman comics as a tech company owned by Dr. Veronica Cale, who is an enemy of Wonder Woman, so probably not going to happen in the show, but a cool Easter egg nonetheless. They seem to be cloning the satellite signal to broadcast some sort of signal from its satellites. They later say that they need brainwave to wake up in order for it to work. So my guess is they want to use his powers in some way to broadcast some sort of brainwashing signal through the satellites. So Courtney tries to get them to tell Pat about this, but they persuade her to come with them instead. They then suit up and go to the source of the signal. We then find out that the gambler actually isn't at their facility, but actually at his home. But I mean, he got Sportsmaster and Tigress to plant the device, and he can just hack at home. We then get a cool fight scene between the JSA and Sportmaster. The JSA pretty much get destroyed by Sportmaster and Tigress, but I mean, a few of them prove themselves to be pretty good, like Courtney and Rick get a few punches in. But on the most part, I'd say it's 1 point to the Injustice Society. They're definitely going to have to learn to work better as a team, as they aren't very good at working together. So Sportsmaster basically just uses sports equipment like the baseballs and the hockey puck and the shuttlecock, which I thought was pretty cool and fun. The whole dynamic between Sportmaster and Tigress was really fun and interesting, and I hope you get to see more of that this season. Sportsmaster then hits the hockey puck into the cosmic staff, and it blows up, and I almost think that it permanently disabled or damaged the cosmic staff for a while, and that would have been an interesting storyline to go with. But it starts to work again, so that's fortunate for Courtney. So just when they have no idea what to do, Pat comes in a striped armor to save them, which was a really cool little scene, which was actually the same scene at the end of the Crisis on Infinite Earths Arrowverse crossover earlier. And that's like the little scene showing the new JSA, as these are all the new members of the JSA that will appear, in this season at least. So this is the end of their date for Sportsmaster and Tigress, as Stripe I guess scares them and they leave by using a cool smoke bomb as a shuttlecock. So Pat kind of proved to everyone, especially Rick, that he can do something, as he pretty much saved them, and they'll probably have more respect for him in the next episodes. So Pat talks to Courtney, and I love when Courtney realizes that she was treating Pat just like the new JSA did to her, as they didn't listen to her even though she just wanted to help them and keep them from hurting themselves. So Courtney will probably change her attitude a little bit to Pat, as she knows what it's like. Pat also kind of says that the team will stay, or I guess he realizes he doesn't really have a choice, as there's no way to stop them from doing what they're doing, and it's better if they have him to help them. So Pat will definitely need to train them, to help them use their powers to their full abilities, and help them to work better as a team, as they really need help with that. Especially for the next episode, which is named Shiv Part 1, so they'll have to go on another mission, I guess you could call it. So the end scene shows the Injustice Society, who seem to have everything they need for Project New America, but they say they still need Henry King, aka Brainwave, to help them with the project. So there's probably something got to do with brainwashing everyone, or using his powers to take over Blue Valley. So in terms of my thoughts on the episode, I think it was an amazing episode. Probably definitely in my top 3 episodes of Stargirl. I really just liked the whole dynamic between the Injustice Society, and I think the new JSA definitely has potential, and it'll be fun to see how they grow through the season. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, hope you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and feel free to comment any theories or Easter eggs you think we missed. Anyway, that's it for now. See you in the next one. Cheers.